inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Bespoke PC, meaning it's a one-of-a-kind kind of thing. It was made and tailored for myself, and it is a mini PC rocking a 5700U and attached to a 6600 XT over Oculink, and boy, do I love this thing. Design the Bespoke PC to eat as little desk space as possible. This is my 15-inch MacBook Pro for context, and as you can see, it eats up way less space on a desk compared to this 15-inch MacBook. Who cares about how much space it takes up on a desk? Everyone wants to know how well it games. This is RuneScape Dragon Wilds 1080p medium quality FSR with frame gen on. We get above 60 frames. I need a new capture card. You're about to see some 1080p footage that looks terrible, especially on static objects like the health bar, ammo bar, things like that, because I believe that it was my capture card combined with my MacBook using iMovie to record the screen that is causing a lot of artifacting that actually didn't show up during editing or filming, but once it was rendered, it looks terrible. That probably was most likely the Ugreen capture card, which is 1080p 60 frames in somehow combination with iMovie that has caused the issue. So take that for what it is. It actually was a pretty crisp, pretty good image at 1080p with not as much artifacting or flickering as the video will show. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Now let's get back to the video. Yes, it's not a perfect picture. There are some artifacting, some tearing, a little bit of halo effect here and there, but a very playable experience considering this game is super unoptimized. And another unoptimized game, or more or less CPU heavy game, is Helldivers 2. This time we had to do quite a bit of tweaking. We had to drop it to window mode 720p so we can go in lossless scaling, upscale it to 1080p, and also do an adaptive frame gen to get it up to 60 frames, which gave it a smooth experience. And we do get a lot of haloing, artifacting, no tearing in this game, but because there's a lot of crap going on in this game, you don't notice it. It feels smooth. It's not immersion breaking. A very playable experience if you ask me. Next up is Palworld 1080p medium preset. Very playable. We get a solid 60 frames, and this is a very CPU hungry game, so I'm very surprised that 5700U was able to play it so well, especially in the base where there's a lot of assets moving around. We do drop into the mid 50s at points, but still, considering what's going on screen, I think that's a win. And of course, I did a Cyberpunk benchmark. This is 1080p, high presets, quality FSR, and we get a consistent 60 frames throughout. And here's a game you would think would run well on this, and it doesn't, period. Doesn't matter if you drop the resolution to 720p, doesn't matter. You're not going to get 60 frames in Schedule 1. And a fun fact in Schedule 1, if you're using lossless scaling with it to, let's say, do adapted frame gen or the upscaling, it breaks the game. It literally makes the game run like molasses, like you see right here. You run in slow motion, even though it says you're getting 40 frames. It feels, I don't know what's happening. It literally breaks the game. Lossless scaling breaks Schedule 1. So unfortunately, we do not get a playable experience with a game that you would think you would. But we do get a really playable experience here in Monster Hunter high preset, native, no upscaling. We are using frame gen, and we get a pretty decent mid 50s to mid 60s playable experience. We do see some drops here and there. It is immersion breaking, but considering Monster Hunter is one of the most brutal games to run right now in any midware hardware, I think this gets a huge pass if you ask me. And last and not least, on our 1080p roundup is another beast of a game, Oblivion Remastered. We are in window mode 900p, no native upscaling. We do have frame gen on, and we will be using lossless scaling to get the 900p image stretched out to the 1080p image. We had to do this trick a lot just to save frame rate. A lot of the games are just CPU heavy, and a good way to lower your CPU overhead to get better frames is to drop the resolution. And thanks to lossless scaling, you can do it without as much of a negative benefit. Because if you ask me, 720p to 1080p upscaling like this, it's 100% playable. 100%. We have one more benchmark. This is a vowed 720p. We are doing the same trick that we did before, but we do have the high preset because, again, this is a heavy CPU demanding game. With our settings, we are able to keep above mid 50s in avowed in this starting area. And I mentioned the starting area because once you get into the real map, where there's a city and NPCs all around, your frame rate does tank. So unfortunately, this mini PC with a 6600 XT is just not good enough for avowed. But that's okay because I don't even intend to play at 1080p. I plan on playing at 800p. I built this PC to primarily stream its image over Moonlight to my OLED Steam Deck because this PC only draws at peak less than 200 watts off the wall. And when you compare that to my main rig, which is rocking a 3090, even when that card is only doing 1080p, it pulls 250 watts. And that's not including everything else that's going on that PC. And it's gonna live here inside the house, right over here next to the dining room table, right behind me and my wife's engagement picture. Look at us, so young. This was at Coachella. Look at this random guy with a mask, no shirt. Booyah. And it's here mainly because we got a good AC unit blowing cool air here. It'll stay nice and cool here, even with the blinds open. And our Ethernet is down here. So best place to put it, out of sight, out of mind for the most part. You do see a little bit of it, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you probably are not going to see it. Plus, it's super tucked away back there. Yeah, no one's going to see that. People will look at the table before they look behind that picture.